So I hope you're all having a very blessed day. Hope everybody's safe out here. We're gonna play a couple videos today while we're waiting for some people to get on here. Go ahead and kind of get this situation out of the way. Now,
Joe Kent has announced resignation. This is a guy who was running for Congress, didn't quite make it, but was appointed a top.
The deadly runway collision at LaGuardia Airport, an Air Canada jet colliding with a fire truck crossing the runway while landing. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is on his way to the scene as the NTSB investigates. And welcome to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Dana Perino.
Well, morning to you. I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning again. Second hour begins now, and here's what we know. Both pilots in New York were killed in that collision. It's happened just seconds after touchdown around midnight last night. There were dozens of passengers on board taken to the hospital. The very busy New York City airport is still closed as of this hour, adding to the widespread travel disruptions caused by the partial government shutdown. However tragic, I should say, notwithstanding, the issues at the airport for hundreds of thousands of travelers continues to grind on.
And the workers, of course, are having to deal with that. And harrowing new audio appears to show an air traffic controller giving the fire truck clearance just moments before the crash. Listen.
4195, stop there, please.
It's an absolute tragic situation, but how does this shit keep happening? You know what I mean? We never had these problems like this, not this rampant often where planes are just getting wrecked like every other fucking week. We never had these problems before. And they all keep happening like in the same type of locations, if you haven't noticed. We're going to get into the good news in a minute here. We're just going to let some people actually join on here. You know what I mean? I actually got a pretty good script for us tonight. I sat down and I did a bunch of research. We're going to go through the reasons we're in Iran tonight. We're going to go through the ICE deployment and why that's a good thing, why that's happening. And I'm going to walk you through all of the actual ISIS-inspired attacks that we've had here. So I sat down today, did a bunch of research, went through a bunch of things, and a bunch of different formats on my computer. I have a bunch of different stuff downloaded, and we're going to go through it. And we're going to look at the facts on, for the people that are saying that we're only in Iran because we're working for Israel, I think you people are dumb. I think that's a dumb idea because there's a lot more reasons other than just Israel that we would want to take Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. Absolutely. So I'm not talking about the Strait of Hormuz tonight because we don't know exactly what's happening with that. But I got a lot to go through, so let's go ahead and start getting into some of it. I just wanted to bring up another plane crash. So I guess we'll start off with why ICE is in the airports right now. What's going on with that? And so ICE is now in the airports, and like moment one, they're already making arrests of illegals that are overstaying their documentation with no documentation and just happen to be flying around on American Airlines. So they're not in our country legally, but they somehow can get air flights and not be flagged. I'd be flagged. I get flagged by TSA every time I go through a freaking security check or into an airport. It's hard for me to fly. Yep, we got wood chippers for all LGBTQ plus people over here. It works out perfect. So here's the deal. The government is shutting down, going on TSA, the people who check you at the airport, guys. They have not been getting paid. It's been over 400 TSA agents quit since this started, the partial shutdown, and now full shutdown for these people. Thousands more have called out sick. So lines at the airports have been insane. We're talking about hours. 4 hours they were talking yesterday. People were standing in line. The lines and the videos are all the way out the door into the parking lots at the freaking airports right now. So Trump saw that. He said enough's enough. He called in ICE to help, and the Democrats are refusing to fund the Department of Security. So Trump made the move. As of today, Monday, March 23rd, 2026, ICE agents are deployed at 14 different airports across this country. We are talking about Atlanta, JFK, New York, Chicago O'Hare, New Orleans, Houston, Pittsburgh, and more. Sorry, there's a lot of them, and this was a lot of fucking typing. I apologize. Okay. Last night in San Francisco airport, ICE already made arrest a woman and her daughter, both here illegally. Both with final deportation orders from a judge were taken into custody. The woman tried to run. ICE stopped her. They are being sent back to Guatemala. Bravo! Bravo! The first hour. ICE is at the airport. They're catching illegals. Olé! Imagine how easy it is. Weird, right? Anyway, Trump's borders are Tom Homan said it best. If ICE sees criminal activity, they are going to act. That's their job. So they're going to do something. That's awesome. Beautiful. Go figure. Federal agents that'll do their job. Fuck. It's amazing. The left is losing their minds over this. Democrats out there handing out tips on how illegals can avoid ICE at airports. Let that sink in. They are protecting people who have final removal orders. People a judge already said, you have to go. You gotta get the fuck out. If you're here illegally, I'm sorry. Gotta go. Supreme Court already ruled that, guess what? The final judgment goes down to what? The executive judges, the executive branch, the executive authority. No judicial warrants needed for ICE operations. Beautiful. If you are glad to see ICE taking back our airports, hit the like button, guys. Okay? This is the first time I've done a scripted live in a long time. We're going to get back to doing better content, good thumbnails, longer forms, stuff like that. So, subscribe, like, at Berserker Patriot 1776 on Rumble, at Berserker Patriot on X. Okay? Do you support ICE being in the airports? Put a 1 in the comments if you do. If you support ICE being in our airports to help TSA agents that are having to quit their jobs, they, keep in mind, haven't been paid in 3 weeks, and neither have the ICE agents. So, I mean, it is what it is. They don't want to give $200 billion to fund our Veterans Association. Think about that. A massive swath of that $200 billion is going to fund the VA and our combat wounded veterans. Understand that, too. It's not all for war. It's for everything that has to do with the military, including Homeland Security, Homeland Defense, Veterans Affairs. So, it's crazy. I'll keep bringing the truth out here. You know that. As much as I possibly can. I'll keep telling you everything that's going on. As soon as more stories come in about ICE in the airports arresting people, boom, we're going to get on top of those to the best of our ability, as fast as we can. I do this by myself, as most of you know at this point. So the 2026 Iran war is a conflict initiated by the United States and Israel on February 28, 2026, upending the dynamic of the entire Middle East. In the first 12 hours alone, the U.S. and Israel launched nearly 900 strikes targeting Iranian missile, air defense, military infrastructure, and leadership. The opening salvo killed Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei and dozens of senior officials. It was not an accident. It was a calculated decision. See, we have this problem with Iran where they keep attacking our missiles with their leaders. So they're running out of leaders to attack our missiles with. That's why things are kind of calming down right now. But, I mean, White House framed this war as about nuclear weapons. During his State of the Union address, Donald Trump accused Iran of reviving efforts to build nuclear weapons and advanced missile capabilities that could threaten the United States, Europe, and America bases overseas. But analysts noted contradictions. American intelligence reports suggested that alleged threats of long-range Iranian ballistic missiles were unfounded, with such capabilities potentially requiring until 2035 to develop. So keep in mind, they told us these capabilities weren't there. They fucked with us and said, no, we ain't got it. Our own officials wrote fake reports stating to our president that this was unfounded. We found out it was founded. Now we know for a fact it is because they just fired an intercontinental ballistic missile 2,000 fucking miles. Holy shit. Turns out we were right the whole fucking time. They have all the capabilities we said they did and more. Awesome. You're never going to impeach Trump. Trump's your daddy. Trump lives rent-free in your mind, bro. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My piece of shit little scumbag ass, nothing, nobody, lives rent-free in your minds. All day, every day. So we pushed over 6,000 last night, and then it dropped directly under 6,000 because one of you unsubscribed. So poo-poo on you, okay? So what were the real American goals? What do you think the real American goals are? Well, let me tell you what I think they are, because I've got them down here so I'm not so sporadic and jumping around tonight. Just for you guys, because I love all of you, and I want to produce better content for you. Okay. Goal 1, dismantle Iran's military power. Trump listed progress including degrading Iran's missile capabilities, destroying its defenses, Navy, Air Force, anti-aircraft weaponry, and nuclear capability. Understand, Islam is a threat to everybody in the world, including America. So everybody in the world should be on board with this. And now that Europe is freaking the fuck out because they know they can get hit, Donald J. Trump, don't you dare assist them in any way whatsoever, because they denied us assistance when some of our soldiers got killed. So fuck you. And while the Hormuz has been shut down and you denied us assistance and said we weren't your allies, well, guess what? You're not our fucking ally either, so go fuck yourself. Find a way to defend your own country. Bring our ships to America. Fuck them. Take all of our fucking defenses away from Europe right now because they denied us help until the moment they realize, oh shit, they can get us. Maybe we'll want to get involved now. No, fuck that. Goal 2, control the Strait of Hormuz. Of course. Absolutely. 80% of the world's fucking oil comes through that strait. Absolutely. The number one funder in terror should not be the people that control that. The people that think that everybody in the world has to be eradicated other than just their people obviously should not have control of that. So, control of the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's blockade of the Strait of Hormuz caused oil prices to surge, with Brent crude climbing to 114 a barrel. Keep in mind, I want you to remember that we were paying 180, 190 plus under Biden for a barrel of oil sometimes. And we had prices up to $6.15 a gallon for regular gas, even in Florida for a while under Biden. On average was still, an average oil price, gas price under Biden's administration was still 71 cents more expensive than what we're paying for the highest gas right now in Florida on average. So keep that in mind. I also posted a video for you earlier. You're welcome. I went to the grocery store. Since you get all these videos and nobody knows if they're real or not, well, we went live at the grocery store. So in real time, we showed you the prices, and they were actually, most of them were $1 cheaper today when we went in than they were when we were there 2 months ago. So where all the prices are going up, I'm not seeing it in Florida. Your blue cities are seeing it, though. So goal 2, we're trading. Iran's blockade caused oil prices to surge. Crude oil climbed to 114 a barrel. The International Energy Agency warned of global economic threat worse than the 1970s oil shocks. For America, a hostile power controlling the waterway was intolerable. Decimate them then. Be conquerors like America's supposed to be. Beautiful. Goal 3, regime change. CENTCOM declared it was entrusted to dismantle the Iranian regime's security apparatus that goes far beyond stopping a nuclear program. So let's make this very clear. When we put a regime change in, it's not going to be Israel telling them what to do. It's going to be Big Nuts America telling them what to fucking do. Okay? When Donald Trump's up on the podium, it's Donald Trump that's on the world podium, surrounded by everybody else. He's always put as the center point because America is what? The biggest dick in the land, baby. Our dick swings across the fucking world and smacks you right in your mouth, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's why we got Florida. That's what the purpose of Florida is. Okay? So, I mean, it is. Just think about it. Oh, so we got to get security apparatus that goes beyond there. Goal 4. Goal 4. Reassert regional dominance, which does what? Secures the petrol dollar, because the dollar is about to collapse. And the moves that Donald Trump made today, you're welcome, literally stop the American dollar from collapsing. Fuck, what a horrible person he is, right? That must suck for all of you guys. Given Iran's weakened position after years of sanctions, destabilizing protest, and damage from a prior conflict in 2025, the United States and Israel calculated they had a greater opportunity to advance their objectives through military means than diplomatic ones. Awesome. It's not legal because it wasn't verified through Congress. You do understand that the way that works is the executive branch has 48 hours. They have 48 hours after they've already committed an attack on another country to notify eight members of Congress. It's not a big national thing where the executive branch has to go on live TV and go in front of all the House of Congress. No, it's called the Chamber of Eight, the Council of Eight. Okay, that is American law, that they can attack. Then within 48 hours, they have to do what? They have to send a fucking memo to the Chamber of Eight. They don't even have to call them. They have to send them an email, a memo, and notify them that they have attacked another country. And what happened within 48 hours of us attacking? The Chamber of Eight went on live TV and said, we 100% back our president. So it's 100% congressionally approved. You don't need the majority of Congress to approve a war. You need what? To notify 8. And who is the majority of right now? You remember when Biden did this for Ukraine to send money, and the Republicans didn't want to do it, remember? And you said, what? Oh, we just need the Chamber of Eight so we can send $200 billion to fucking Ukraine and strip your American tax dollars for literally no fucking reason, because Ukraine completely batched and lost the fuck out of that war. And all the options they have now is to literally just make a deal. That's it. That's literally the only option. That's it. That's why it's not going any further. Russia won this war, and now it's just got to be an option to stop Russia from fucking killing the rest of them. So $270 billion literally did nothing to help them. All of the military shit we sent over there, where is it? Nobody knows where it's at. Nobody knows where all the money is. They cannot even show us how they spent the fucking money. But we know exactly where the $200 billion is going to go. It's going to go to veterans. It's going to go to replenish our stockpile of bombs that we need. And keep in mind, we were running low on stockpile of everything because of Joe Biden. I did massive lives about it all through his administration. So fuck you. Trump's been in office for a year. But it's already all Trump's fault. It's all Trump's fault. Everything we're in right now. 1 year. 1 year he's ruined the country, you say. No, for 4 years, Joe Biden, that doesn't have a brain in his fucking head, that likes to sniff children and fucking eat them while he's on fucking stage. You got to remind him, hey, bro, you can't lick the fucking kids in front of everybody. No licking the kids in front of people, Joe. Fuck. No grabbing Hillary Clinton's little fucking moose knuckle. Don't do that, Joe. Can't do that. Don't grab her butt. Fucking Hillary, Ooh. But I mean, look at Joe. He looks like he smells like pee, doesn't he? Looks like he smells like pee all the time. Fucking pervert to pervert. I got popsicles for you down here. Segment 3 for you guys. The human cost. As of today, 24, the war's end remains deeply uncertain. Trump announced a 5-day postponement of strikes on Iran power plants, claiming two sides had reached major points of agreement. Iran's foreign military flatly denied any negotiations had taken place. Of course they did. Of course they did. It's a Muslim country. They're not literally by their own fucking religious. They can't admit that they would bow down to the infidel. Are you fucking stupid? Of course they can't do that. They're not allowed to do that. Literally, they could be murdered for doing that. They would be seen as weak, and somebody would try to step in and take over their shit too. That's the Muslim world, unfortunately. So, negotiations taking place. We'll see what happens with that. They did open a massive swath of the strait up today. 3 ships have made it through, so I mean, I don't know if it's not opened or not. So we'll see what happens. The concern is Israel. The concern in Israel is that the U.S. might stop the war prematurely. Israeli officials continue to signal they will press on and fight with Hezbollah in Lebanon, by their own admission, just beginning. So let me just reassure you of this, Israel. If anything, we can clearly state that America does not know how to pull out. You can see by the overpopulation of our country that America never just puts the tip in. They go all the fuck way in. If history dictates, we don't pull out premature. Okay? So, it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. That took me hours to pull up all that information today. I apologize. This shit's not quick for me, you know. But we have a problem. We need to fix the problem. This next story I'm going to work on for you right now is an even bigger problem because, I mean, my God, man. I'm not going to edit anything on your website, buddy. Stop. Sorry, the friend's letting me use a host website right now. So, we have the New Year's Eve attack in New Orleans. We start on January 1st, 2025, New Orleans, Bourbon Street, New Year celebration. We're in full swing when a pickup truck drove directly into the crowd. 14 people were killed, 57 injured. The attacker, Shamasoud Din Jabbar, a 42-year-old U.S. Army veteran from Texas, was killed in a subsequent shootout with police. An ISIS flag was recovered from the vehicle. Jabbar had recorded videos in the hours before the attack declaring his allegiance to the Islamic State. The FBI determined he acted alone, self-radicalized through online ISIS propaganda. No direct command from ISIS leadership, but the organization's newspaper, Al-Naba, claimed responsibility 9 days later. This was the first successful Islamic attack on U.S. soil in 8 years, and it set the tone for 2025. So that was number one in 2025. We're just going to start from 2025. I can go back and we can pull up hundreds of these attacks that you people don't even know about, all the way back to 2020, all through the Biden administration, that was hidden by mainstream media. But I've got to keep it in the best of the ability I can to my brain function, because I'm fucking retarded, and I'm pulling the best of the truth I can pull up for you. These are verified, all facts, everything in here. I will post all receipts in the comments section later. Okay, in the community section on my Berserker Patriot Store channel, just for you guys. So every source that I use on here, I will post in my community section 3 times a week for you guys. Okay, because I've got a new assistant that's helping me out right now, and we just started today, so we'll see how that works out. I love you guys. Out. See ya. Segment 2 on this one for me is the plot arrest youth. The New Orleans attack wasn't the only incident on American soil. 2025 intelligence officials confirmed there were at least 3 Islamist terrorist attacks in the U.S. last year. and law enforcement disrupted at least 15 domestic plotters before they could act. What's striking is who's being arrested. According to the Institute of Strategic Dialogue, virtually all of the 2025 U.S. incidents involving perpetrators under the age of 20, teenagers radicalized online to ISIS propaganda, encrypted messaging apps, and social media. Holy fuck, who could have warned you about this? Who could have warned you about this literally 10 fucking years ago? Who could have hundreds of videos on their social media right now, I wonder, that literally told you, if you don't wake the fuck up, your kids, your teenagers, and your young adults are going to be out here committing fucking ISIS-inspired terrorist attacks? Who could have thought about the fact that this stuff was going to get so radicalized that in Trump's next term, we were going to have actual ISIS terrorists committing attacks on U.S. soil? Happening. It's a weekly basis now. One just happened last week. It's a weekly basis. We're going to go through all this stuff. Don't worry. Let me get some go juice. Okay. In October, multiple suspects were arrested in Dearborn and Inkster, Michigan, after they discussed an ISIS-inspired attack in online chat rooms and conducted weapons training with AK-47s. In December, a North Carolina man was arrested after he reached out to undercover FBI agents he believed were ISIS members, pledged allegiance, requested help obtaining firearms, and drew up handwritten plans for a New Year's Eve attack, listing targets including Jews, Christians, and LGBTQ individuals. The FBI was watching. He never got to happen. It never happened because we caught him. But wait, there's much, much more. This is a lot of shit that you have not heard about. That's all happened this year. Okay? Across the Atlantic and Europe, this is all connected. Understand, Islam wants all of the world. Okay? Across Atlantic, Europe saw a sustained pattern of small but lethal attacks throughout 2025, with 6 completed jihadist attacks in EU member states and 18 plots disrupted. In February, a Syrian asylum seeker in Villach, Austria, stabbed a 14-year-old boy to death. An ISIS flag was found in his home. The same month in Munich, an Afghan refugee drove a car into a trade union protest, killing the mother and child. In May, Bielefeld, Germany, a Syrian man stabbed 5 people at a football bar. Authorities confirmed an Islamic motive. In October, London, an Afghan national with temporary leave to remain stabbed 3 people in Uxbridge, killing a 49-year-old man and injuring a teenager. Islamic motive. Killing 49-year-old man and injuring a teenager. What links these attacks is not a centralized command, it's an ideology. Distributed online, consumed by vulnerable individuals and acted upon with whatever weapon is at hand. A car, a knife, a truck. Europol reports that nearly 2/3 of ISIS-linked arrests in the EU in 2024 involved teenagers, and the trend continued in 2025. 1 in 5 terror suspects in the UA is now under 18 years old, and we're having the same problem everywhere. One of the most deadly attacks of the year occurred in Australia in December. Father and son Sajid and Naveed Akram opened fire on the Hanukkah celebration at Sydney's Bondi Beach. 15 people were killed, including a 10-year-old child. 42 were hospitalized. Australian officials confirmed this attack motive by Islamic State ideology. And I'm sure from here on out, most of you are going to remember a lot of these things. And I bet a lot of you didn't even know just weeks before that happened, all of this other shit happened. Okay? All of those other attacks across the world and in America were all this year as well. Okay? So, beyond the West, the picture is even more serious. ISIS, so this is where we're already almost at, okay? This is where we're almost at, is where other people are at right now that have allowed this to happen before us. More serious, ISIS and its affiliates remain the deadliest terrorist organization on Earth. The Sahel region of West Africa, countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, accounts for over half of all global terrorism and death. Half. Africa accounts for half of all global terrorism and death. Listen to that. Yep, it sure is. Thanks. In Syria, ISIS activity actually decreased compared to 2024 in Syria, but then spiked in April and May when the U.S. reduced its troop presence from 2,000 to 700 soldiers in December. 2 American soldiers were killed near Palermo in a direct ISIS engagement. So go figure, when we're not protecting the world, when we pull out and we don't protect, see what happens when we pull out as America? People get fucked up and killed. Because we keep the world safe, but we're so horrible. We're so fucking horrible. We're oppressing all these people, but people die as soon as we leave. Weird, right? They live when we're there, and only the bad people die, and then the good people die when we leave. Huh. Kind of weird. And here is the overreacting strategic shift. Intelligence officials are flagging ISIS no longer needs territory to be dangerous. It runs what analysts are calling a digital caliphate, a propaganda infrastructure that radicalizes individuals worldwide without ever making direct contact. A single publication can inspire dozens of attacks across multiple continents. And we're seeing it every single day. Every single day. In March 2026, a director of national intelligence released the director of national intelligence released the annual threat assessment. Al-Qaeda likely has between 15,000 and 28,000 members worldwide. ISIS has been 12,000 to 18,000. Neither organization is capable of the coordinated mass casualty attacks of the pre-2019 era. Both remain capable of inspiring individuals to act. The DNI assessment notes that counterterrorism operations in Iraq, Somalia, Yemen, and Syria removed key leaders and operatives in 2025. That's important. But it also notes that the shift towards online radicalism means the pipeline of potential attackers is harder than ever to detect. And let me explain this to you, and I've been trying to expose this. They go after our kids through the video games and video game online apps. Okay, because people, when they go to search your shit, they're not going through a kid's video game. You can click on that app, go into the menu settings, go down to the VPN of the game, and they can communicate through that as terrorists. So as counterterrorism, to ways to find out if your kids are being fucked with, I will make a video. As a matter of fact, I will, give me 1 second and we'll get back to this. How to keep your kids safe. There's actually a guy that is ex-special forces, 7th. He was attached to 7th Battalion, but he was also Army Ranger, but he's intelligence for all the highest special force. He was a SEER specialist, which is search, evasion, survival, and rescue. That's just what he does, though. He's been on the Sean Ryan podcast, but he makes a device that you can actually plug into your kids' laptops and find out if any of these asshole pedophiles or terrorists are trying to get a hold of your kids. So, yeah, it's a good thing to have. And there's all kinds of other apps that you can download too. I will post in my community section. This is what we're doing now. We're getting back to what we used to do. Campaigning's coming up, so we're going to be doing a lot of campaigning for people in the state of Florida. We're going to be getting back involved with Moms for Liberty, getting back involved with all the stuff that we used to do. So we got it coming up, guys. What does 2025 tell us? That the nature of the Islamist terror threat has fundamentally changed. There is no caliphate. There is no single command structure, directed attacks. Vulnerable people of all backgrounds, all ages, all nationalities. The attacks are smaller than 9/11 era, but they are more frequent and they are being carried out by people who never set foot in a training camp, only in a radicalization chat room. And this is exactly why when he threw the fucking IED, the ordinance did not react properly. For one, that specific ordinance didn't even need that piece of shit firework fucking views that you use. First of all, you could have gone online and gotten an LLC for a demolition crew for $600 fucking dollars, and you could have ordered specialized underwater fuses that would not have gone out. First of all. Second of all, that was impact ordinance. He could have set up a small impact ordinance on all four sides of that explosive residue, and when it impacted, then it would have went off. You know, so I mean, he could have literally had a bouncing Betty fucking set up, but instead, retard probably found an anarchist cookbook somewhere and thought, "Oh, let me see this, let me do." But that kid actually did go to a training camp. We know that now. He did go to a terrorist training camp, so they didn't train you very good, buddy. I'm a nothing nobody redneck, bro. But I mean, if I wanted to do something that fucking stupid, allegedly, I would never do that. I would never call for violence, bro. I mean, city blocks wouldn't even be out of the question. You know what I mean? If you're gonna do it right, bro. Don't be fucking going doing some dumb shit and failing every single time you try to do it, guys. But then again, I guess these other attacks didn't really fail, did they? Because we got the 19 shot. Now the count for the guy that screamed Allah Akbar at the university and the synagogue both ended up, we found out they shot way more people than we were told. Because one dude was just walking down the street for a while and nobody realized that, and he got like 22 people. So it's a problem. One person caused that much of a problem. That dude and his brother at Bondi Beach. Look at the fucking chaos that they caused. Look at all the chaos. Be honest with me. If you're like me and you're out here and you're loud and proud about what you do, you feel safe in your country? Do you feel safe when you walk outside every day? I'm going to show you the target that I am. Hold on. Because it's important to understand that I put myself in a little bit more of a precarious situation than most people do. Bear with me. We've got a lot more news. That's 40 minutes of nonstop reading I've given you already. We can take a small break, okay? I don't have 6 different people sitting beside me like Tim Pool and Steven Crowder to switch the segment over to. You know what I mean? I literally give you an hour of nonstop. I'm like, see, it's the best you've seen. It's the best. So this is me. I'm a target. I'm a nonstop, 24-hour a day, 7 days a week target for you guys because I love you. I'd rather them target me than you. Okay, so if you want to know where to find me, I also have a Berserker Patriot Store Discord, Berserker Patriot Store Discord, and I'm about to create the Florida Berserker Discord tonight. Anyone that would call me a coward and then see that I drive around with that 24 hours a day on my truck and that doesn't understand clearly that that is a Quran wrapped in bacon. These are my stickers that I make, by the way. People that say they're shitty stickers and they fuck up. It's been on my truck for weeks now and they're still in great shape. The one on his car next door has been on there forever. So I'm literally a live action target. You know what I mean? So here, let me, okay. It's easier for you guys if I explain to you that I used to own a big Trump store in Port Charlotte, Florida, okay? And I used to do all the big rallies in town here. I used to speak at school board meetings. I've been on the Alex Jones show. I used to have big channels before cancel culture. I'm not just some weird redneck that rides around like this. My truck didn't look like this in the beginning. Pull up the book, White Rule Rage, The End of Democracy. That's my truck on the front page of that book. That book was written about me. Okay, that's my truck. That book was written about me. They wrote a whole novel about me in like 2020, 2021. You can buy it on Amazon. Look at the cover. That's us on the cover of the book. But you can see the black stripe. I got a picture on here before all this started. You can see the black stripe and you can see the four-wheel drive on the side, just like it is in a truck. I got a picture of the truck before all this started. This truck was in brand new condition. Okay. They set off let's start off. They set off an incendiary device inside the truck. Okay. Fucking all that's blown out. That's gone. That's all blown off over there. The rearview mirror got blown out. Everything got fucked up. There's literal, like, little shrapnel marks of fucking doors from it. You can see it hit the door so hard that it just shredded everything off. Yes, I was getting in my truck when that happened. I've got scars on my body from that. They smashed up this side, smashed out all my windows. I have no windows. The second thing they ever did to me was they drilled into my rear differential just because I spoke at school board meetings and went after pedophiles. Okay, that's all I did in the beginning. I spoke at school board meetings. So every time they did something to my truck, I put some new shit on my fucking truck. And this is just how it's progressed over the years. You can go through my channel. This shit's been stripped off. New stuff's been put on. I make all of this stuff. This is my new logo, by the way. I make all of this stuff. I cut it out by hand. I don't have a machine to cut it with. So, but like I'm literally a live action target all the time. And once again, if you ever need to know where to find me, I'm that guy. Okay, we'll get back to some of the news. Oh, just randomly right in front of my... There you go, guys. I didn't even realize that was sitting there all this whole time. So, yeah. We got some videos to watch. I think we got some people getting drugged by ice to go down. Do I have a massive hog? No, I got a micro penis, man. But look, I promise you 3 inches hurts at 65 miles an hour. Shit. Okay, let's get into some more of this, guys. I hope you're all blessed out here tonight. I hope you've all had a very safe day today. I hope wherever you live, you don't have to deal with the bullshit but I know you do, and it sucks. I'm sorry. What happened is, people thought the Great Replacement theory was just replacing us with illegals. No. It was fucking the cities up so bad because they already have the cities locked down fucking blue and set the way they're going to be. It was to fuck the cities up so badly that people would flee to our states because they know that most of you, no offense, are fucking retarded, and have voted Democrat your whole entire lives, and you're registered Democrat, and a lot of you don't realize if you're registered Democrat, you're not going to go to a Republican, and you're not going to go vote Republican. You know what I mean? They're going to move here, and they do the same thing, and they've proven that. They've infiltrated our school boards, they've infiltrated our cops, our judges, all kinds of shit. They don't make a difference in Florida because there's not enough. You would have to move whole states here to make a difference in fucking Florida. I just pulled up the demographics of Port Charlotte. Still, in my town, after all of you have come here, so we are still 87.2% of the population of my town white people. So, I mean, there's that, you know, and it's like 12% Hispanic and 8.1% black. But keep in mind, it was 2.1% black 4 years ago and like 6.9% Hispanic. So that's a massive uptick in foreigners moving to our communities. A massive uptick in foreigners moving to our communities. And I've shown you the videos during the day. People on our streets don't even speak fucking English that are working for our state. Our neighbors are fucking pulling, old men are pulling guns on them, sticking them in their fucking faces, forcing them to leave their yards and shit. So, and yes, underneath that was Star Wars and Star Trek. And then that's Dragon Ball Z. Yes, that's what that is. And a big old fucking Mandalorian on my back. We're actually about to start doing some Star Trek political videos because John Luke says it the best. And we got some good memes, Star Trek memes coming out. So wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. Wait a minute, Maryland. What's going on? Professional cornhole player missing both arms and legs, accused of shooting and killing Maryland man in driveway. Wait a fucking minute. Just wait a minute. Look, hold on, man. Hold on. Look. Wait a minute. You can't see the picture I see. I'm sorry. I'm an evil asshole. Look, man. I was born in the 80s, guys. Come on. Oh, fuck. Look, this dude's literally, his arms are nubs from here up, and his legs are nubs from the thighs up. Oh, God, America. Let me reread that for you, now that you know that this dude's only got an arm from the bicep up. Okay? Professional cornhole player missing both arms and legs, accused of shooting a man, killing Maryland man in driveway. Authorities have not explained how Weber has a complete quadriplegic amputee was able to fire a weapon and drive a car at the same time. Man, come on, bro. It's just like, look, they're going after this motherfucker, but yet a woman beating illegal immigrant, MS-13, Trinidad Agua fucking gang member that's trafficking fucking children and raping women. They call the Maryland man, and they want to keep him in this fucking country. And he's literally got a deportation order to 7 different fucking countries, including Africa, for doing horrible things in those countries. Boom, boom, boom. You can't make this shit the fuck up. That's Maryland. SCOTUS appears to be poised right now to strike down state laws allowing continuing of late mail-in ballots. That's wonderful, because there shouldn't be late mail-in ballots in the first place. It should all be on paper. But that's hard. It's never been hard any other time in America until fucking this generation. Before this generation, it's been the American staple, and we've had one day and everything was done. But now that the internet has taken over, people are too fucking retarded to read paper ballots. That's just dumb. That's dumb. That's dumb. You know, people are like, there's no jobs. No, there's no fucking people. There's no people to work these jobs. You didn't have kids. Gen Z, Gen Alpha. One of you literally aborted a third of your fucking population. The other one aborted 3/4 of your fucking population. There's no children. There's no teenagers to work. Where are the kids? Oh, kids are lazy. They don't want to go outside and play. There's no kids to go outside and play. Now there's kids being born, but they're babies. They're not outside playing. There's no kids in this generation that's of the age to have children playing in the streets. We don't have it. That's the problem. We don't have kids. Nobody has kids. My kids are growing up in fucking college, bro. They're doing their thing. But they don't have children. And their friends don't have children. And their friends don't have children. When I was my son's age right now, I already had him and his fucking sister under my fucking wing. You know what I mean? Nobody else has kids. Nobody else has kids. I'm 43. Nobody else has kids in this generation. So there are a few teenagers out here, but think about it. You go to the mall, it's empty. It's old people, bro. You go to Walmart, there's no kids. That's why stores are empty, is because who hangs out when they're skipping school? Teenagers. Who goes to the malls? Teenagers. Who goes to the movie theaters? Teenagers. Who goes to fucking all of the places that adults aren't at because they're fucking working all day? Teenagers. And we don't have any of them. We literally don't have any. We have the smallest population of young adults we've ever had in the history of America. Gen Alpha, dude, when Gen X falls off, the world's fucked. You understand that, right? I'm in a weird generation. I was born in 1982, so I'm a exennial. I'm not a millennial, and I'm not a Generation X. People that were born when I was born were just fucked. We literally didn't get a classification because we were raised with Generation X and we were raised with fucking millennials. So we're just like jigenials. We have no generation, and we're just like in limbo. So the boomers fucked us because we didn't get the generational wealth from them. Therefore, we couldn't give it to you. You couldn't give it to your kids. Therefore, none of us can buy homes right now. That's the reality of America. The reality of America, boomers, I'm sorry. As human beings, I love you. But even the IRS is now putting boomers down as the greediest generation in the history of time, and they're going in the history books as the generation that didn't turn over the You're literally, they just announced it with the government. The boomer generation is literally going in the history books as the generation that destroyed the American economy because they turned over none of the financial wealth, none of the generational wealth that every other generation in the history of America has done. And what was the saying that boomers, what did our parents used to tell us, guys? Remember, oh, I won't be alive anymore. Who cares what happens to the world? Remember that old saying? Oh, it doesn't matter what happens. I won't be around anymore. Well, fuck you, because now you're not going to be around anymore in 4 years. Your whole generation is going to be gone, and now the rest of the world is fucked. Hell is going to be hot for that greedy of a generation to destroy an entire country. Hell is going to be hot for a lot. Okay? Greed is one of the most intense sins in the Bible. I'm just saying. That's the facts of the matter, according to the statistics of America. We have the boomer generation. We need to primary everybody right now. Anyone in office right now should be between my age and maybe 55, 60. Anyone over that, you got to go. You're all fucking tainted and compromised. Your pussy smells so fucking bad, we can smell you from down here in Florida up in Washington, okay? We need to drain that shit out. We need to scrub it all down with some fucking bleach, which bleach went up by $3. That was the main thing I found in the store today that went up by $3. I'll pay the extra $3 to clean your snatch out up there in fucking Washington, because that's what we need to do. We need to get... Look, man... I like Bobby Williams in Florida, but let's be realistic. You're not an option, bro. Nobody knows who the fuck you are except for a few local yokels down here in Southwest Florida like me. So the reality is we shouldn't be splitting the vote between 5 different very prominent people in the primaries right now. The reality is we should look at the fact that Byron Donalds is not a local to Florida and does not give a fuck about Florida. He does not give a fuck about corporations coming here and taking over, and he has no actual legitimate plans, just like Ron DeSantis, to actually get these illegals out of our country. I do, right now. Okay, so I'm in the process of I'm talking with James Fishback. He's a young Republican, two-way Florida first, native born in Florida. Okay, the main question that is going to give him my endorsement is, what do you want to do about the development of Florida and the fact that your state is spraying the one plant life in the state of Florida that stops us from having toxic algae plumes, keeps our fish alive, keeps our waters regulated, and keeps it to where we can have clean water in Florida, and that's our lily pads. And they're spraying and killing the lily pads in the state of Florida because Northerners don't like the way they look. Well, guess what? When you kill the lily pads in the water of the state of Florida, they do everything I just told you about. So if you live in Florida, you'll remember, same time they started spraying our canals, we started getting all these signs all over our state stating toxic algae plumes popping up in the water. They convinced us it was because there was a huge toxic spill of fecal matter, 82 billion gallons, into our canals. Well, when in reality it was stemmed off in the air and waterway and never made it into our canals. But a simple retarded Google search will tell you it will kill the state of Florida to kill our lily pads because we need them. They are one of the most vital things besides mangroves in the state of Florida to keep our state alive. Without mangroves and without lily pads, our state will literally die. The marine life will die. The water will be so smelly, fucked up, and tainted that even our gators can't stay alive. And fucking the people can't survive that way. They're over-fracking and over-developing our land. We are in a stage 4 water crisis in the state of Florida, where the fact that they're going to be rationing water, okay? We are already rationing outside water. You can water 1 day a week in the state of Florida, okay, for rationing water. Our water table went under Ron DeSantis from 255 feet in southwest Florida, wait for it, to 1,175 feet in some parts of southwest Florida. That's insane. Guess what happens when you dig past 2,000 feet in the state of Florida? You hit the sandstone. And guess what happens when you do that? You taint the Florida aquifer. Wow! What an amazing fucking revelation that a retard like me can even fucking figure out. So we need engineers that know what they're doing in the state of Florida. We need politicians in the state of Florida that know that if you overpopulate the state of Florida, it will kill it. Our wetlands are vital. That's why under every other governor except for this one, we literally had state laws that made it the highest crime in our land to build on our wetlands. It made it a massive crime that you could be imprisoned for as a county representative, as a state representative, for selling off our vital wetlands. Now what happened? We have all these corporate laws under Ron DeSantis, and single-handedly under Ron DeSantis, we have taken in more people under his governorship than any sitting governor ever. You could put 5 governors together, and he took in more people than all of them. We've taken in over 15.7 million fucking people into the state of Florida in the past 8.5 fucking years, bro. That's insane. That's insane. My population in my town that's built for 78,000 people. My town is built, engineered for 78,000 people. We have 227,000 people as of last week in the state in Port Charlotte, Florida. And there's not a spot on in our community that's not being torn down, including our vital wetlands are being bulldozed, and they're pulling sand and rock in, and they're destroying the agriculture of Florida. Florida will die. Understand that. The grass will die. The trees will die. The bees will die. They already are. It's like literally we just got a thing. The bee population in Florida is going extinct. I've shown you the videos. We have bees that are freaking out so bad they're mating with horseflies, and it's a horsefly bee hybrid, and they're still pollinating the flowers. So nature will find a way, but I'm not gonna lie, there's some pretty cool looking fucking bees. They look like a bee, but they're bright neon fucking green. Weird, right? It's not normal. It's the evolution of the species, obviously, but I mean, people don't understand. If bees aren't alive, people aren't alive. If trees aren't alive, people aren't alive. You're talking about fucking We must save from petroleum. It's not petroleum that's the problem. It's trees that are the problem. Because you understand what trees breathe, right? They breathe the opposite of what they breathe, what kills us. You get that, right? Trees suck in the carbon that we expel in exorbitant amounts, and it literally filters it, turns it into fucking oxygen, and farts it back out at us. That's what a tree does. Okay? When you don't have birds that chirp in your neighborhoods in the morning, that's why your fucking landscaping looks like shit. Do you understand that there are little filaments inside leaves that in the morning, when birds chirp the certain tone that they chirp, those filaments open up, and that's what makes your trees grow? Without the birds and the bees, literally, that's why they call it the birds and the bees, because that's the foundation of life. That's why they call making a baby the birds or talking to a kid the birds and the bees. Do you understand? That's where that saying comes from, because scientifically, birds chirping in the morning literally wake up our plants and help them grow. So it basically opens their solar panels so they can breathe in the carbon. Without that, they don't breathe in the carbon. And what happens? The air gets fucked up. The air quality's fucked up. The water quality's fucked up. The trees start leaning like this instead of pointing up and grabbing the sky like they're supposed to. They start falling over like this. I'm an arborist. That's what I do for a living, in case you don't understand. All day I cut trees for a living. But they start leaning. You'll notice in the state of Florida, literally all of our trees are growing sideways right now. People are like, oh, that's because where the sun comes up. No, it's not. That's because of hurricanes. Some of it is. But it's because of improper root systems, because we have a root fungus in all of our state, because our state is unhealthy. Our pines are being decimated right now by root fungus. Like our indigenous trees that we need in our state are being decimated. And the main cause of that is, what do you think happens when you bring in a subdivision? When you dig out sewage systems, what do you do? Do you understand? Do you bore into the fucking ground and suck all the water out so it doesn't flood the homes, and then take that water somewhere else? Yeah, you do. When you put gas pumps in, do you frack out the land as deep as you can possibly get it to do that and make all the wells in the surrounding neighborhoods go dry? Absolutely. I covered stories on that numerous times here. You know what I mean? So we just got to wake up and stop bitching about it and start giving solutions to the pollution. So this is the new channel, guys. We're going to give you the news stories from the beginning like we did tonight, every night at 7 o'clock. That just seems to be our niche time. You know, daytime doesn't work well, after 10 doesn't work well, so 7 just seems to be our niche time. We did 28,000 the other night. It's a good night. 18,000 last night. You know what I mean? We did good. You know, had over 2,500 concurrents last night. We did good. We're doing good. So anyone that says, oh man, you only got 6,000 followers, bro, I got a battalion. I got a battalion of followers. And just remember, when Charlie Kirk got assassinated, I wasn't even monetized. In September, I wasn't even monetized on this channel. I had 250 followers in September. That's a little over 1,000 followers a month almost, right? A little over 1,000 followers a month. So we're doing pretty good. A few more months, we'll be back up. So we got to get it to where we can stay on the internet and keep talking. So me doing research for you guys all day. Look, I'm putting myself into this for you now. Full on, okay? I'm taking time off so we can focus on getting the midterms turning out well. We're going to sit down. We're going to go through everyone that's running for everything in the next few weeks, okay? Everyone that's running for everything and what they stand for and what they're about. So you're not just going to a polling place and saying, oh, who's running? Who are you voting for? What's going on? Because if you call our Republican headquarters in Port Charlotte, Florida right now, you're going to be fucking confused, because they sure as fuck are. 3 old ladies that are over 80, all 3 of them over 80 years old. None of them have any clue what the fuck's going on. The message on the phone doesn't match what's on the website. They're only open 2 days a week, while the Democrats are out here 1,400 strong all week long, 6 days a week, and protesting on the 7th. Every single week for a year now. They've got 2,000 people to go out with them every weekend and protest. Wake up. They're protesting in front of all of our polling locations in the state of Florida every weekend with signs saying, kill the president of the United States, or to 86 a Nazi, or to get a fascist. And who are they calling fascists and Nazis? Us. Who are these older people in Florida seeing standing in front of the polling locations they're going to be voting at? Being not so nice? Exactly. You don't have to win the vote because you have more voters. You just have to get your other side to all of a sudden have people that don't vote. And we've lost the independence that helped us win 2024. We've got to wake up and we've got to get something done. We've got to come together. All social media personalities, all of us need to do, everybody, from the smallest channel to the largest channel, we all need to do one big massive live together. One big massive live together. So everybody comes together. Wouldn't that be a great idea, guys? Look, we're an hour 5 in. It's 8:20. I'm going to eat some more food because those 2 big-ass burgers I had were not enough. I hope you enjoyed tonight. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all of the love, all of the views that we got tonight. We're sitting on 164 concurrents just right now. We're an hour and 6 in. You know what I mean? Be blessed. Hopefully have a green screen behind us soon. You know, everything comes out of my pocket. So we got to keep it going, guys. I love you. From the Florida Berserker and the Berserker Patriot Store, have a great night. I will see you tomorrow.